Hello everybody, I got another video for you guys today. We're going to celebrate the increase of the bounty risk modifier by showing you guys the AFK Ishtar. This ship is an Ishtar, as you can see, and it is designed to be flown AFK. They're not crazy, they don't make a lot of ISK, but they scale really well. You can fly a bunch of them at once, you can fly them while doing other things. I'm just going to throw myself into a site and we'll kind of go over the fit and how it works. This one particularly is designed to go into patrols and herds, but you can make them tanky enough to go into hordes. You can make them tanky enough to go into your bigger sites in just about every region of space. Basically, depending on where you are, you change the hardeners. And if you're in a bigger site, you actually have to orbit. But this is a patrol. All I'm going to do is I'm going to launch my drones and turn on my tank. And that's all I have to do the site. So now that we're set up, we're quote unquote spinning. Let's go ahead and go over the fit. It's pretty simple. You don't have to have crazy skills to fly it. You just need to be able to sit in the Ishtar. The hardest skill to get is Galente Cruiser 5. It's 20-day train. Aside from that, it's pretty low barrier of entry. So we have an auto-targeting system 1, a Republic Fleet large cat battery, an extra large C5L compact shield booster, a multi-spectrum hardener. I went shiny and got a Gistum X EM hardener. And then the lows, we have a flux coil, a damage control, and some drone damage amplifiers. We did as much as we can with our CPU use. If you are tight on CPU, you can take off Tech 2 and put on AEKs. And then for rigs, we have a medium capacitor control circuit and a medium EM shield enforcer. Again, depending on where you live, the EM and the EM may vary based on what you need for your tank. So if you live in Angel space, you'll want explosive. If you live in like Grist space, you'll want kinetic. So it just kind of depends on where you live, what you do. And then depending on the site, sometimes if the site is bigger, and has more NPCs, you'll actually have to orbit something if it is difficult to survive. If you just orbit an object in the room, you'll be fine. So if you just orbit at like 20 kilometers, motion reduces damage significantly, and then you just kind of let the drones do their job, and then you walk away. Basically, you just leave this guy in space. Skills that help would be, of course, the spaceship command. Heavy assault cruisers is really helpful to get the additional skills from the ship. And then, of course, your tanking skills and shields. Having shield, it's not compensation, is it? Yeah, shield compensation makes it easier to make a cap stable. Shield operation and shield upgrades, I believe, is helpful. Shield upgrades isn't really that helpful. We don't have passive tanking. I think tactical shield manipulation 4 is required for the shield hardener. And then navigation, you don't really need a lot. It'd be nice to have just plain navigation skill up to have your subwarp speed higher. And then drones, getting your drone support skills to 4 and 5 would be helpful as well. But basically, you just kind of let it spin. They make about 10 to 20 million ticks, depending on your BRM. And they get escalations, which is really nice too. The thing that you have to watch out for is occasionally you get a dread or faction spawn. You just check your target Rex at the end of the site. Make sure there's no loot. And then if you get a dread or carrier spawn or a titan spawn, the thing that you got to watch out for is that it'll kill your ship. You'll hear your shield alarm go off, set it to like 60% and you'll be able to catch that before it kills you. And the other thing that I use, which I will link in the description here, is Slazinger's map tool. It basically integrates your intel channels with it integrates your intel channels into this. Basically, it reads your text files that are made when the intel channels are there. So it recognizes the term intel, and it will recognize that intel has been posted. And when somebody posts something in intel, if I say AZA clear, for example, it will pop up, and you can set up in the settings here, you can set a range. So if something's within 5 jumps of me, a little alarm will go off and I can then go give attention to whatever it is. But other than that, these things are like completely AFK. They take about half an hour to do a random site, and you can spend basically as many of them as you want. The only downside to this is the fact that you're not really paying attention means that if something comes in and it does not get reported on Intel, you will lose your ship. However, you don't really care when they're only 240 million ISK and they pay for themselves in like 20 ticks. So it's not a big deal when you have a lot of them to lose one. Or just spending one or two is a good way to make some income while you're doing another activity. But that is the AFK Ishtar. It's a really simple ship. They're really easy to fly, and you can kind of modify them for your region. Get your specific hardeners. You can go nicer on the drone damage amplifiers if you really want to, but the idea is that they're cheap, and you don't really need to worry about them much because they do pay for themselves fairly quickly. 10 to 20 million ticks. It gets it gets two escalations. It pays for itself. I mean, if it gets an escalation, I get to sell it for 130 million ISK, which is really nice. Being able to sell it for selling the escalations for a little bit of ISK is awesome. And yeah, go spin your Ishtars, boys. If you like this short video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Yep, I'm just going to let my Ishtar spin here and wait for comments. You guys have a good day. Fly fun. And continue enjoying EVE Online.